Narasimha says to Prahalada, I'm sorry I delayed a little bit. Vilambite. So this Narasimha Avatara particularly, he conquered. He came out of animate coming out of inanimate and rescuing his devotee. That is the glory of Narasimha. That is actually name number 22 as well, Sreemathe. So the string of names that we were covering was Yogo Yogavidanetha Pradhana Purusheshwaraha Narasimha Vabu Sriman Kesava Purushottamaha. So we start with Sreemathe. What does Sreeman mean? Parasara Bhattara says, he who possesses Sri, who is of beautiful form. Sri represents Mahalakshmi, our mother, my mother Radharani, or Mahalakshmi, you call her whatever you want, Andal, you call her whatever you want, the female form. And the grace, mother, Daya. And he says Sriman, the one who possesses Sri is called Sreeman. And who does this form beautiful? Or in other words, you can say one who is really handsome and rich. Just two parts to that. Handsome and rich, complementing each other, right? Many times we see rich people and we say, he is very wealthy in a worldly sense, but doesn't look particularly great. Or we say that person is very beautiful, but seems to be very poor from a material perspective. So this Narasimha represents, or Sriman represents one who's really handsome and rich. The author goes back to, to describe this name, Karnakaran Swami goes back to Ramayana. In Ramayana, there is a particular episode, and this episode refers to the episode of Mantra, telling Kaikeyi to plot against Rama and wanting Bharata to be crowned as a king. It's a very interesting episode. In that episode, Kaikeyi says, hey, Mantra, you look so beautiful. You look so beautiful, she says, okay? And the author now is looking at us from a psychological perspective, and we say, anybody who comes to our help when we are desperate looks beautiful, isn't it? Even the most ugly form looks really beautiful if they are coming to help us, especially when we are desperate. So that's something I wanted you to remember, because we are talking about handsome and rich, beautiful and rich together, two qualities. And beauty is where really when somebody comes to our help, we really think they are outstandingly beautiful. But as far as the Lord is concerned, when he comes to our help also, he is really beautiful. Unlike imaginary beauty is what the author says. So the author sits down to write the commentary for this name, Sreeman. And he's reminded of, in Tamil, Chanting, if you want to put Narasimha's photos, please do. Narasimha is described as Aragiya singer. In Aragiya singer, Araga means beautiful. Singer represents the lion form. So he's called Aragiya singer. And we are talking, the Alvar is saying, this is particularly an important form for today, Malolan from Ahobilamat. This is the presiding deity at the Ahobilamat, one of the mutts for a number of us. And this is the presiding deity that he's called Malolan. And he's wearing a sandal. If you look at Narasimha's feet, he's wearing a sandal. And Garuchi is there. Why is he wearing a sandal? He is ready to rescue us immediately, instant rescue. No delay, no delay. That is what he signifies. So now he's called Aragiya singer. That is the beautiful lion form. And the author is saying, I'm going to read a little bit of a Tamil Pasuram, which means, Aragiyan Tane Ari Urum Tane, Palagin Tane, Panimam Kuruvinai, Kuruvai, Tane Kurilukum, Tanmane, Mine Uirukalam. Sorry, I didn't do justice to the Tamil there. Okay? It says, Aragiya Singa means that who is, that Lord who's absolutely beautiful, beyond beauty is what in a nutshell he describes. So, and Parasara Bhattara now says that form, he doesn't need to, even though he's coming to our rescue, unlike Mantra who was imagined to be beautiful by Kaikeyi, the Lord is coming to rescue, yet he's really beautiful and beyond compare. That's the first one. The second part of the name I said was beautiful or handsome and rich. Very important point here of richness. And the commentary goes on to say, who is rich really? The person who is accumulating a big bank balance and, into millions, and yet cannot spend money for the benefit of poor people, whether it be relatives, friends, or dharma, or the person who is willing to give away the money that he's accumulated in the form of charity. Param Pujya Guruji comes to our mind. For those of you who do not know, Guruji has passed on all his wealth, including the house that he stays, Hare Krishna, to Indian Foundation. None of it goes to the children, and the children happily considered to it as well. So nothing, Guruji and Doctor did not keep anything for themselves at all. Okay, so remember that money, which is being used for good purposes, he is rich, who uses money for good purposes. I understand we all have commitments, but giving 10% of our income is possible. And please, if you don't do that now, please start. So that is how Sreeman becomes. You want to become Sreeman. You want to look beautiful and glowing through richness. That is the richness that's defined. And the author goes on to further say, money that not given for the benefit of good causes, relative friends, good causes, and accumulated would automatically divided and enjoyed by physicians, court, railways, and government as if these are your legal heirs. That's what happens when money is not used properly. See, many times we see, this Mysore, the person who passed away with a lot of paintings, etc., Devika Rani or whatever, I can't remember, could ultimately even sign checks, and the household helpers were looting all their wealth. That's what happened. So therefore, it's important to use the money properly. So if you want to be wealthy, that is rich, you want that to translate into looks, then say Sreeman. Think of this Lord, Sreeman. He will make us look good, also have wealth, and also praying to him constantly will make sure that we are using our money well. Sreemathe Namaha. So please chant Sreemathe Namaha, says the author. He's called Sri. He's really rich and handsome. See, he's also sitting everywhere. You see that Mahalakshmi is sitting with him in lower Ahoblam. If you look at most shrines, you will see that Mahalakshmi is always a part of Narasimha. She's sitting with him. And she's sitting with him. And he who possesses Sri is also called Sreeman. So the first story this morning we thought was the name of Narasimha. There in the center you see Narasimha. He's called, so last week was Narasimha Vabhushe. We heard Shankara. Srimad Payonidin, we heard Janaki chant that 16 verses. YouTube has got a very wonderful rendition of this. The playing time is 8 minutes for that shloka. Please listen to it and enjoy it. So today's name was, continuing, Narasimha Vabhu. Sreeman means one who's really rich and handsome, or one who possesses three, and that is none other than Narasimha. Please contemplate on Narasimha when you listen Sreeman. What is the Falastuti? You will be materially rich, not only materially rich, but he'll also give you good looks, which we are all very bothered about. Therefore, if you want to look beautiful, you want to look handsome, chant Sreemathe Namaha.